As the day draws to a close, you lie in your bed, the weight of the world momentarily lifted off your shoulders. The noise of the outside world fades away, and the quiet stillness of the night settles around you. In this serene moment, you have access to a remarkable power, one that often goes unnoticed, the power to mold your future, your circumstances, and your reality. It is a moment of deep potential, for it is during these moments of rest that your subconscious mind is most receptive, most open to the desires you choose to plant within it. And this is where the process begins, right here in the calm of the night before you fall into sleep. The state before sleep is unlike any other. It is a time when the conscious mind begins to wind down, but the subconscious mind remains active, working tirelessly. This is the perfect opportunity to impress upon the subconscious the very thing you wish to see manifest in your world. It is a time of quietude, a time of inner peace, when the external world and its distractions no longer dominate your awareness. It is in this state that you have the power to create. In the moments before you drift off to sleep, the first and most crucial step is to relax. Allow your body to sink into the bed, letting go of any tension or lingering thoughts. Feel the muscles in your body release one by one, starting from your head and moving down to your feet. Your breath slows naturally as the body follows the rhythm of relaxation. The mind, once busy and active, begins to quiet down. The day's worries, tasks, and obligations start to lose their grip on you. It is in this moment of stillness that you are able to access a deeper level of awareness, a space where the conscious mind steps aside and the subconscious mind takes center stage. Now, in this state of calm and peace, you are ready to plant the seed of your desire. It is not the time to focus on the how or the when. The conscious mind, which is concerned with details and logistics, has taken a back seat. Now you can let go of any doubts or concerns, for this is the moment to simply ask. But the key to this process is in how you ask. You must ask with the certainty that what you desire has already been fulfilled. This is not a time for longing, wishing, or hoping. It is a time for knowing, for embodying the feeling that your desire is already a reality. You do not need to see the end result with your physical eyes just yet. Instead, close your eyes and vividly imagine what it would feel like to already have your desire. In this moment, your imagination becomes the creative force. Picture your desired outcome, not as something distant in the future, but as something that is here in the present moment. Imagine the sensations, the emotions, and the physical experience of already having what you want. Feel the joy, the satisfaction, the relief, or the peace, as though it is happening right now. This is the power of the subconscious mind. It cannot distinguish between what is real and what is vividly imagined. By immersing yourself fully in the feeling of your desire already fulfilled, you are impressing this feeling upon your subconscious mind. It is important to remember that the subconscious mind does not respond to words or thoughts alone. It responds to feelings. Therefore, the key to success in this process is in the feeling of fulfillment, the feeling of already having. You must feel the reality of your desire as though it is tangible, as though it is already present. The stronger the feeling, the more powerful the impression you are making upon the subconscious. And once this feeling is planted, it will begin to work on your behalf, guiding your actions, your thoughts, and your decisions toward the fulfillment of your desire. As you continue to relax, deepen the feeling of already having. You do not need to know how your desire will manifest or when it will happen. Trust that the subconscious mind, once impressed with this feeling, will begin to shape your external world to match it. Your inner state of being will eventually be reflected in the outer world. The feeling of already having is the creative force that brings your desire into physical reality. The more you can embody this feeling before you fall asleep, the more quickly and effortlessly your external circumstances will begin to shift. The moments just before sleep are crucial because they are a bridge between the conscious and the subconscious mind. This is a time when the conscious mind's hold over the thoughts and perceptions weakens, and the subconscious takes over. It is in this state that the subconscious is most impressionable. This is why it is so important to consciously direct your thoughts and feelings before sleep. The last thoughts you hold in your mind as you drift off are those that your subconscious mind will focus on during the night. So choose them wisely. As you fall asleep, do not be concerned with how or when your desire will be fulfilled. You have already asked. You have already planted the seed in fertile soil. Now, all that is left to do is to trust the process. The subconscious mind works behind the scenes, orchestrating events, people, and circumstances to bring your desire into reality. Your only role is to maintain the feeling of already having, to trust in the power of your inner world to shape the outer world. In the stillness of the night, as you sleep, your subconscious mind goes to work. It takes the seed you planted and nurtures it, watering it with every beat of your heart. When you awake, the external world may not immediately show you the results, but trust that the process has begun. The changes are taking place on a deeper level, and as you continue to maintain the feeling of having your desire fulfilled, the external world will catch up. So as you prepare for sleep, remember this powerful truth: you hold the key to your future. The state before sleep is not just a time to rest your body. It is a time to create your reality. You have the power to ask, to feel, and to know that what you desire is already yours. Trust in this process and know that as you fall asleep tonight, the seeds of your dreams are already beginning to grow. When you desire to create something new in your life, it is essential to approach the process with the certainty that it is already done. This is the cornerstone of creating change, yet many individuals unknowingly focus too much on the lack of their desires or the hope of future fulfillment. But the key is not in waiting for the desired outcome to appear, but in stepping into the feeling of already having what you want. When you approach your desire as though it is already fulfilled, you create a powerful internal alignment that naturally brings your reality into congruence with your inner world. The act of asking is not merely a request made with longing or desperation, but rather a deliberate and confident assertion of the fulfillment of your desire. In the moments before sleep, you must move beyond the mental state of, I want this, and instead adopt the feeling, I have this. The essence of creation is feeling. Thoughts alone without the power of feeling are empty. The conscious mind can play with thoughts, but it is the subconscious mind that receives and acts upon the feelings you impress upon it. Therefore, the feeling of already having what you desire is the secret to its manifestation. To truly grasp this idea, you must first understand that in the world of imagination, there is no separation between the imagined and the real. The more vividly and genuinely you can feel your desire as though it has already materialized, the more it impresses itself upon your subconscious. Your subconscious is the realm of creation, the source of all that manifests in your outer world. It is through the subconscious that your inner assumptions, beliefs, and feelings are externalized. When you fully embrace the sensation of already having, the subconscious begins to move in alignment with that feeling, rearranging circumstances and events to reflect the new state of being. At this point, you might wonder, how do I feel as though it's already done, when the evidence of it is nowhere to be seen in my current reality? The answer is simple. You must feel it as though it is a fact, regardless of the current external conditions. You are not trying to manipulate the external world. You are creating an internal state of being that mirrors the reality you wish to experience. The world around you will eventually match your internal state, but you must first cultivate the inner feeling of having. You can start by focusing on what it would feel like to already possess what you desire. Take a moment to close your eyes and imagine the experience. Picture yourself living with your desired outcome. What do you see, hear, and feel? Allow these sensations to wash over you completely. Feel the satisfaction, the peace, the joy, or the relief that would come with having what you wish. Feel it in every fiber of your being. Don't simply visualize the object of your desire. Become it. Feel as though your desire is a present, tangible reality, not something in the distant future. As you continue to focus on this feeling, you may find your mind attempting to pull you back to the present moment, questioning how this could possibly be true or when it will come to pass. This is where the importance of trust comes in. Trust that by embodying the feeling of fulfillment, you are already setting the wheels of manifestation in motion. The process of creation is not about seeing the full picture immediately, but about trusting in the unseen forces that are at work. You are laying the groundwork through the feeling of already having, and in time the external world will catch up. When you ask with the certainty that your desire is already fulfilled, you free yourself from the burden of impatience and doubt. Many individuals find themselves waiting eagerly for signs or immediate results, which can cause them to lose the powerful momentum they've created. The feeling of having is an ongoing state of being. It is a way of life, not a momentary exercise. Once you ask, you must continue to live in the feeling of fulfillment, knowing that the world will reflect your internal state. It is important to remember that your desires are not about the specific how or when of their fulfillment. It is not your job to figure out the details. The creative process works best when you surrender the need for control. By adopting the feeling of already having, you allow the universe, or the creative power within you, to work through the pathways that are most aligned with your desires. This trust in the process is crucial because the mind's tendency to focus on the how only creates friction, making it more difficult for the manifestation to occur. Imagine this. You're sitting in your living room and someone tells you that a gift is on its way to you. They don't tell you exactly what the gift is, but they assure you that it will arrive soon. You may be curious about the details, but instead of worrying about when it will arrive or how it will get to you, you simply wait in anticipation, knowing the gift is on its way. The gift may arrive in a manner you did not anticipate, but you trust that it is coming because the promise was made. In the same way, when you ask for what you desire and embody the feeling of already having it, you trust that it will come, even if you do not see the immediate results. The universe works in its own ways, and your job is to remain in the feeling of fulfillment, knowing that the desire is already on its way to you. This internal alignment with your desire is not a one-time effort. It is a sustained feeling that you must cultivate each day. As you continue to feel the fulfillment of your desire, you are strengthening the connection between your inner world and the outer world. The more you focus on the feeling of having, the more your mind, body, and circumstances will align with that state. Over time, this becomes a natural state of being for you. You no longer have to try to feel it. You simply embody the knowing that it is already yours. In the stillness of the night, as you prepare for sleep, remember that the key is in the feeling of fulfillment. Ask for what you desire, but do so with the certainty that it has already been done. Feel it, live it, and trust that your internal state of having will create the reality you wish to experience. The world around you is but a reflection of the feeling you hold within. By embodying the state of already having, you ensure that what you desire will inevitably be drawn into your experience. To manifest anything into your reality, you must understand that it is not enough to simply hold a thought or to imagine an outcome. The crucial element is to feel as though your desire is already a reality. It is this feeling that acts as the creative force, shaping your inner and outer worlds. The mind may entertain various thoughts, but it is the heart, the place where feelings reside, that gives life to those thoughts. It is through feeling that you truly create. This is the hidden power behind every manifestation, and it is the key to bringing your desires into physical form. The feeling of already having what you desire is not just a passing emotion or a fleeting thought. It is a deep, settled knowing that your desire is already fulfilled. When you allow yourself to embody this feeling, you are not simply thinking about your desire, you are becoming it. Your imagination in this sense becomes the gateway to transformation. but it is the feeling that you associate with your desire that infuses that imagination with power. You see, imagination alone is not enough. It must be coupled with the feeling of having, because it is feeling that impresses upon the subconscious mind. The subconscious is the creative force within you, the power that transforms inner states into external realities. So how does one cultivate this feeling of already having? First, you must step away from the constant focus on what is lacking. The very act of focusing on what you do not have creates a gap, a distance between you and your desire. This distance, while invisible, is a powerful force that keeps your desire just out of reach. Instead of dwelling on the absence of your desire, you must shift your attention to the presence of it. When you focus on the feeling of already having, you close the gap. The idea of I do not have disappears, and in its place, you stand in the reality of I already have. This is the practice of feeling your way into your desired state. It is not enough to think about what you want. You must feel the joy, the satisfaction, the peace, or whatever emotion accompanies your desire being fulfilled. For example, if your desire is to live in a new home, you do not simply imagine the house. You feel yourself walking through the rooms, feeling the texture of the walls, hearing the sound of your footsteps on the floors, smelling the air. You imagine every detail, but more importantly, you feel the contentment and excitement of living there. What does it feel like to finally step into the home you've always dreamed of? Allow yourself to savor that feeling completely, as though you're already experiencing it right now. The challenge here is that often the mind will want to question the validity of the feeling. The mind might ask, how can I feel this way when I don't have the thing I desire? And this is where many people get stuck. They think they must wait for external circumstances to change before they can feel a certain way. But the truth is, it is the feeling of already having that changes the external circumstances. Feeling is not a reaction to the external world, it is a cause. By feeling the emotion of having your desire fulfilled, you are creating the conditions for that desire to manifest. The key to feeling as though you already have your desire lies in your ability to remain fully present in the emotion of it. For instance, if your desire is a promotion at work, you must step into the role of the person who already has that promotion. How does it feel to be successful in your job? How does it feel to have the recognition and respect that comes with that promotion? It is not enough to mentally picture the promotion. You must emotionally embody the state of already having received it. You may find it helpful to spend time each day in this feeling, to walk through your life as though you have already achieved what you want. This is not a mental exercise. This is a full body experience. You must feel it in your heart, your body, and your mind. The more deeply you immerse yourself in this feeling, the more powerful the impression you are making on your subconscious. The subconscious mind responds to emotion far more strongly than it responds to logic or reasoning. It is the emotional energy of your desire that impresses the subconscious and sets the process of creation into motion. The subconscious works with the events of your life to reflect the emotional state you hold. If you feel successful, the subconscious will move your life towards success. If you feel abundant, the subconscious will bring abundance into your experience. It is this alignment of feeling that leads to manifestation. Many people make the mistake of thinking that their circumstances must change first before they can feel the way they want to feel. But the truth is, the feeling must come first. The moment you begin to feel the emotion of your desire being fulfilled, you create the internal shift that starts the manifestation process. This is why it is so essential to focus on how you would feel if you already had your desire, rather than on the desire itself. The feeling is the key to unlocking the door to your manifestation. It is also important to remember that the feeling of already having is not a temporary state. It is not something you do only when you want something. The power lies in making this feeling a constant part of your inner experience. This is the secret to living a life of abundance, success, and fulfillment. The more you can live in a state of already having, the more you will attract what you desire. It becomes not just a technique, but a way of life, a way of living in alignment with your deepest desires. In the quiet moments before sleep, when the mind is calm and the body is relaxed, this is your most powerful opportunity to practice feeling your desires as already fulfilled. It is a time to feel with all your being that you have already received what you desire. Whether it is love, success, wealth, or health, your task is to feel it as a present reality. And as you drift into sleep, trust that the subconscious is now carrying these feelings with it, working silently to bring them into your waking world. So, as you move forward, remember, the feeling of already having is the catalyst for all creation. When you feel as though your desire is already fulfilled, you activate the forces that will bring it into your experience. It is not a matter of hoping, wishing, or waiting. It is a matter of embodying the state of already having and trusting that the external world will align with this inner reality. When you begin to ask for what you desire before sleep, it is not only important to focus on the feeling of already having your desire, but it is equally essential to trust the power of the subconscious mind to bring your desires to fruition. The subconscious mind is a mysterious and powerful force, one that is constantly at work in shaping the experiences of your life. The most profound realization you can have is that your subconscious mind is constantly receiving and responding to your thoughts and feelings. It works silently in the background, organizing and orchestrating the events of your life in direct correspondence with the inner state you hold. Trusting the subconscious is a critical part of the creative process. Too often, people engage in a process of doubt and disbelief, questioning when or how their desires will manifest. This constant doubt is the very thing that delays the appearance of your desires. The subconscious mind is an obedient servant. It does not question, it simply carries out what it is given. When you give it the clear impression of fulfillment, it moves to fulfill that very impression. If you question the process, however, you create internal conflict, which can slow down the manifestation process. Trusting your subconscious means surrendering to the belief that it will bring your desire to you, regardless of the external circumstances. The key is to have the faith that once you plant the seed of your desire into the subconscious, it will grow in ways that may be beyond your understanding. It is not your job to figure out the how. The creative process is not about controlling the outer world, but allowing the subconscious mind to work behind the scenes. When you begin to trust the power of the subconscious, you stop trying to force the outcome and instead allow it to unfold naturally. This trust is vital, as it frees you from the need to control every step of the manifestation process. When you feel certain that your desire has already been fulfilled, the subconscious mind sets in motion the necessary steps to bring your desire into being. It is important to understand that your conscious mind may not be aware of all the steps involved, and often the path to fulfillment will present itself in ways you may not expect. The subconscious mind knows exactly how to create what you desire, but it requires your full trust in its power. You must believe that your desire is already moving toward you, even if the outer world has yet to reflect this. One of the most powerful aspects of the subconscious mind is its ability to work while you are at rest. As you prepare to sleep, your conscious mind takes a step back and the subconscious takes over. This is why the moments before sleep are so crucial. They offer an opportunity to plant your desires into fertile soil, while your conscious mind is less active and more receptive to suggestion. When you fall asleep in a state of trust and belief that your desire is already fulfilled, you send a strong, clear message to your subconscious mind. This message is the blueprint for the unfolding of your desire in the waking world. The subconscious mind is like a garden. It will grow whatever seeds you plant in it, whether those seeds are ones of doubt, fear, or confidence and certainty. If you plant the seed of doubt and worry, The subconscious will nurture those seeds and bring you more circumstances to support those doubts. However, when you plant the seed of fulfillment, the subconscious works to bring about the conditions that reflect that fulfillment. Therefore, before you sleep, it is crucial to plant the right seeds, those of having, of knowing, of trusting that your desire is already fulfilled. This trust also extends to the idea that the subconscious mind does not need to know how or when the manifestation will occur. It simply responds to the feeling and belief you impress upon it. Your job is not to worry about the timing or the method of manifestation, but to trust in the process and feel as though your desire is already realized. Once you align with the feeling of already having, your subconscious mind goes to work on aligning the external world to match that inner state. This process also highlights the importance of letting go of attachment to specific outcomes. When you are attached to a particular outcome or form, you are limiting the creative potential of your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is vast and unlimited in its ability to bring about your desires. But when you impose limits or fixate on a specific form, you create resistance. The key to creating with ease is to allow the subconscious mind to work freely and trust that it will bring the best outcome for you, even if it does not look exactly as you imagined. Let go of any resistance or worry, for these are the very things that create obstacles. Trust that the subconscious mind is already working to manifest your desires, even when the external world has not yet caught up. In doing so, you free yourself from the burden of impatience and allow the process to unfold naturally. Another aspect of trusting the subconscious is understanding that it operates according to its own laws and rhythms. It does not operate based on human timing or logic. It is timeless and boundless. Once you give your subconscious mind the clear instruction, it begins its work immediately. You may not always see immediate evidence, but trust that the process has already begun. Your thoughts, feelings, and actions will begin to align with your desire, and circumstances will shift to match the inner state you have created. Trusting the subconscious also involves trusting yourself. Your inner world is an accurate reflection of your beliefs and feelings. If you believe that your subconscious mind is powerful, capable, and trustworthy, then it will be. The more you trust in its power to create your reality, the more your external world will begin to reflect this trust. Your trust becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. When you trust the process, you naturally begin to make choices and take actions that are in alignment with your desires. And the universe will begin to provide the opportunities that align with that trust. So as you prepare for sleep each night, release the need to control the how and the when. Simply trust the power of the subconscious mind to do the work. You have planted the seed of your desire, and now all that is left to do is to feel and trust that it is already yours. As you drift into sleep, know that the subconscious is working tirelessly on your behalf, bringing your desires into manifestation, one step at a time. Trust this process and let go of any doubt. Your desires are already on their way. One of the most powerful aspects of the creative process is the recognition that what you believe to be true, what you feel to be true, becomes true. This is the law of assumption, and it works every time without fail. However, the key to understanding and applying this law effectively lies in how you use it. Often people assume things out of habit, either consciously or unconsciously, and those assumptions create the reality they experience. It is important to realize that your assumptions, your beliefs, and your feelings are not just passive thoughts. They are active forces that shape your life. Therefore, you must become deliberate in your assumptions and learn to consciously align them with the desires you wish to manifest. The power of assumption is most effective when it is combined with a feeling of already having what you desire. When you assume that your desire is already fulfilled, you are not just thinking it, you are feeling it. This creates a state of inner congruence, where your thoughts, feelings, and actions are all aligned with the desired outcome. The key here is that you do not wait for evidence in the external world to support your assumption. In fact, the more you rely on the external world for proof, the longer it will take for your desires to manifest. Instead, you must rely on the internal feeling of already having what you desire. This is where the true power lies. As you prepare for sleep each night, this is the time when you can most powerfully impress upon your subconscious mind the assumption of already having your desire. Before you sleep, you have the unique opportunity to close the day by entering into a state of relaxation, allowing your mind to become receptive to new impressions. The subconscious mind is highly suggestible in these moments, and it is here that your assumptions can take root and begin their work in the creation of your desired reality. To begin this process, first, bring to mind your desire. Whether it is a new job, a loving relationship, financial abundance, or better health, focus on the feeling that accompanies the fulfillment of this desire. What would it feel like to already have it? You must enter into the state of already possessing what you want. For example, if your desire is for financial abundance, close your eyes and imagine what it would feel like to have all the money you need. Feel the relief, the joy, the freedom, and the gratitude that would come with that. Let yourself truly experience the emotions of already having it. The key is to embody this feeling fully. You must not just think about it, but feel it as though it is your present reality. The more real and vivid this feeling becomes, the more powerfully it will impress upon your subconscious mind. The subconscious mind does not distinguish between what is real and what is imagined. It responds equally to both. So when you feel the emotions of already having what you want, the subconscious begins to work on that assumption, and it begins to align your external world with this new internal state. It is important to let go of any resistance or doubt during this process. Often people will ask, but how can I feel this way when the evidence of my desire is not yet present? The answer is simple. Because you are not creating based on the evidence of your current circumstances. You are creating based on the internal feeling of already having. This is where most people make the mistake. They wait for external evidence before they allow themselves to feel that their desire is already fulfilled. However, the process works in reverse. You must feel it first, and then the external evidence will follow. You may also encounter the tendency to want to figure out how your desire will manifest. You might start thinking, I want the money, but I don't know how it will come. Or, I want the relationship, but I don't know where I will meet the person. The key here is to release the need to know the how. The subconscious mind knows the way. It has access to an infinite array of solutions, possibilities, and opportunities. Your job is to maintain the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled and to feel the emotion of having it. Let the subconscious mind work out the details. Trust that it knows the best way to bring about your desire, and trust that it is already on its way to you. This is why it is so crucial to ask before sleep with a sense of confidence and certainty. When you go to sleep feeling as though your desire is already yours, you are setting the stage for the subconscious mind to begin its work immediately. The subconscious does not wait until morning to begin creating. It begins as soon as it receives the impression. This is why it is so important to end your day with a feeling of fulfillment. As you drift off to sleep, continue to feel that your desire has already been fulfilled. This will impress upon the subconscious mind the idea that what you desire is already yours. And from this point forward, the subconscious will begin to move events, circumstances, and people to bring about the fulfillment of that desire. In the days and weeks that follow, you may notice changes in your thoughts, feelings, and actions. You will find yourself making decisions that are in alignment with your desires. Your beliefs will begin to shift, and your reality will start to reflect this new internal state. As you continue to live with the assumption that your desire is already fulfilled, your external circumstances will begin to shift and the manifestations will follow. But it is essential to remember that the key is the feeling of already having, not the waiting for the evidence. The more deeply you embody this feeling, the more quickly your desires will materialize. One of the most powerful aspects of using the law of assumption is that it gives you the power to create your life intentionally. You no longer have to wait for things to happen to you or for circumstances to change. You can take control of your reality by consciously choosing what you want to assume and by living in the feeling of already having it. This is the true power of creation, not to hope for something, but to know it is already yours. And by doing so, you align yourself with the flow of the universe and allow your desires to unfold effortlessly. So, before sleep each night, choose your desire and assume that it is already fulfilled. Feel it deeply, as though it has already come to pass. Know that this assumption will shape your subconscious mind and begin the process of manifestation. Trust that the subconscious is always at work on your behalf, creating the life you desire. Let go of the how and the when, and simply live in the feeling of already having what you want. Your desires are already on their way to you, and the more confidently you assume they are yours, the faster they will materialize. To manifest anything into your life, it is essential to recognize that the most powerful tool you have at your disposal is the ability to control your state of mind, particularly your state of consciousness. The state of consciousness that you maintain is what determines the reality you experience. This is why it is so important to deliberately cultivate the feeling of already having your desire, rather than waiting for the external world to change before you feel that way. When you learn to control your inner state and consciously direct your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions, you become the master of your reality. One of the most powerful ways to influence your state of consciousness is through the practice of imagination, particularly before sleep. Imagination is not just a faculty of the mind. It is the creative force that shapes your entire life. Everything you see in the physical world began as a thought, an image, or an idea in the mind. Your outer world is simply a reflection of the inner world of your thoughts and feelings. This is why it is so important to use your imagination in the right way. The moments before sleep are one of the most potent times to practice using your imagination, because in this relaxed state, your mind is more receptive to new impressions. Your conscious mind begins to take a back seat, allowing your subconscious to absorb and accept the images and feelings you impress upon it. The process of creating your reality begins with imagining the end result, the fulfillment of your desire. This is where most people make a mistake. They focus too much on the process, on how their desire will come about, rather than imagining the end result, the state of already having what they want. To truly manifest what you desire, you must imagine the end, the desired outcome, and immerse yourself in the feeling of already having it. Let's take a moment to consider a simple example. Suppose your desire is to have a new car. Instead of focusing on the steps involved in getting the car, such as finding a dealership, applying for a loan, or choosing the color, you must focus on the end result. You driving your new car, feeling the leather seats, enjoying the smooth ride, and experiencing the joy of ownership. You must see yourself already driving the car, already living in the reality where you have this new car. The key is to feel as though you are already experiencing it. The more vividly you can imagine the scene and the more real the feelings are, the more powerfully it will impress the subconscious mind. It is not enough to simply see the car in your mind's eye. You must also feel the emotions that come with the fulfillment of your desire. Feel the pride, the satisfaction, and the excitement of owning the car. It is through these emotions that you connect with the creative power within you. The subconscious mind does not respond to thoughts alone. It responds to feelings. When you connect with the emotions of already having, you are imbuing your imagination with the necessary power to manifest your desire. The key to this practice is consistency. As you prepare for sleep each night, devote time to this process of imagining and feeling. Do not rush it or try to force it. Simply relax and allow yourself to imagine the desired end. Whether it is a new car, a new home, a relationship, or financial abundance, focus on the end result and allow yourself to feel it fully. The more time you spend in this state of imagination, the more deeply the image will become rooted in your subconscious mind, and the more quickly your reality will begin to shift to match it. There is no such thing as a time delay in this process. The subconscious mind operates outside of time, and once you impress it with the feeling of already having, the process begins immediately. However, the key is to continue to trust the process and not allow doubt to creep in. Doubt is the greatest obstacle to manifestation. When you doubt, you are sending a conflicting message to the subconscious mind. It does not know what to believe. Are you truly in the state of having, or are you still in the state of wanting? In order to eliminate doubt, you must anchor yourself in the feeling of having. Each night, as you prepare for sleep, reaffirm the state of already possessing your desire. Revisit the scene of fulfillment and feel the emotions that accompany it. The more you immerse yourself in this feeling, the more real it will become. Your subconscious mind is malleable, and the more it receives the impression of your desire being already fulfilled, the more it will begin to work toward bringing it into physical form. As you imagine the end result of your desire, you may encounter moments of resistance or disbelief. These moments are natural, but they must be dealt with swiftly and gently. When doubt arises, simply reaffirm the truth of your desire. Acknowledge the doubt, but do not give it power. You are not required to fight against doubt. Simply allow it to pass and redirect your focus back to the feeling of already having your desire. Remember, your imagination is the creative force, and the more you feed it with the feeling of fulfillment, the more it will create the conditions for your desire to manifest. This practice of imagination before sleep is not about trying to control the world around you. It is about aligning yourself with the creative power within. The outer world will shift to reflect your inner state, and it will do so naturally and effortlessly. Your task is to remain focused on the desired end and to continue to feel it as though it has already been realized. The more you do this, the more your inner and outer worlds will align. It is also important to understand that this process is not limited to material desires. It can be applied to any aspect of life. Whether you wish to experience greater health, stronger relationships, or emotional well-being, you can use the same process. The key is to focus on the end result, the fulfillment of your desire, and to immerse yourself in the feeling of already having it. As you do this, you begin to align yourself with the creative power within, and your external reality will begin to shift accordingly. So, each night, as you prepare for sleep, make it a habit to consciously direct your imagination. Visualize the end result of your desires and feel the emotions that come with their fulfillment. Do this with faith and confidence, knowing that your subconscious mind is already working to bring your desires into reality. Allow yourself to surrender to the process, knowing that your inner state is the key to shaping your outer world. And as you continue to practice this each night, you will begin to see the evidence of your desires manifesting in your life. The practice of creating your reality is not about force or struggle. It is about aligning with the natural flow of life and learning to work with the subconscious mind, which is the true power that governs the events and circumstances in your world. One of the most crucial understandings to cultivate in the process of manifestation is the idea that you are not trying to impose your will upon the universe. Rather, you are aligning with the inner feeling of already having what you desire. The external world is simply a reflection of your internal state. And it is this internal state, this feeling, that you must master in order to see the changes you wish to experience in your life. The importance of feeling cannot be overstated. You see, when you ask for something, your desire is not just a thought. It is a deep emotional longing that comes from your innermost being. This emotion is the force that drives the creation of your reality. Your desires are not abstract concepts, but are rooted in the emotional experience you associate with them. For instance, if your desire is for financial freedom, it is not merely the thought of money that you seek, but the feeling of relief, security, and abundance that accompanies it. If you desire a loving relationship, it is not merely the image of a person by your side, but the feelings of love, joy, and connection that matter. When you ask before sleep, you are not merely trying to think about what you want. You are allowing yourself to feel as though it has already been fulfilled. The secret to manifestation lies not in the intellectual understanding of the process, but in the emotional alignment with the end result. You must embody the feeling of already having what you desire, and it is through this embodiment that the subconscious mind begins to accept it as a reality. The subconscious mind does not question the validity of the feeling. It accepts it as truth and begins to work toward its fulfillment. This is why before sleep is such a potent time for manifestation. In this state, you are no longer fully engaged with the distractions of the physical world. You are transitioning into a more receptive state, one where the subconscious mind can absorb impressions more easily. The key to making the most of this time is to immerse yourself in the feeling of already having what you want. It is not enough to simply wish for it or to hope that it will come. You must feel it, and you must feel it now, not in some distant future. The power of the subconscious mind is not in waiting for things to happen, but in impressing it with a feeling of fulfillment. To do this, it is essential to use the imagination. The imagination is not just a tool for fantasy or daydreaming. It is the creative faculty of the mind that shapes your reality. Whatever you can imagine with vividness and emotion is what the subconscious mind will work to bring about. The imagination allows you to transcend the limitations of the physical world and enter into the realm of possibility where anything can be created. By vividly imagining the fulfillment of your desire before sleep, you are planting the seed of creation in your subconscious mind. You are impressing upon it the image and feeling of already having what you want, and from there the subconscious will begin to work toward bringing that image into physical manifestation. However, this process requires more than just visualization. You must also practice the art of feeling the emotions associated with the fulfillment of your desire. If you are imagining a new job, do not simply picture the office or the desk. Instead, feel the emotions you would experience if you were already in that position. Feel the excitement, the pride, the sense of purpose that would come with it. If you are imagining a new home, feel the joy, the comfort, and the satisfaction of being in that space. The emotions you feel during this process are the fuel that powers the creation of your reality. It is important to note that when you practice this technique, you must also let go of any attachment to how or when your desire will manifest. The moment you start to wonder how it will happen or when it will arrive, you are creating resistance. The subconscious mind works best when there is no force or struggle. Your job is to believe that the desire is already fulfilled and to feel as though it is already part of your experience. Once you release the need to control the process, you free yourself to receive the manifestations that are aligned with your inner state. Trust in the process and know that your desire is already in the works. One of the biggest obstacles to manifestation is impatience. People often grow frustrated when they do not immediately see results, but the key is to remain steadfast in your assumption that your desire is already realized. It is the consistent, persistent feeling of fulfillment that brings about the manifestation, not the fluctuations of doubt or uncertainty. Your subconscious mind does not respond to moments of doubt. It responds to the dominant prevailing feelings you hold. Therefore, the more consistently you embody the feeling of already having your desire, the more quickly it will manifest. Additionally, it is important to understand that your subconscious mind is constantly at work, even when you are not consciously aware of it. It is always responding to your thoughts, emotions, and assumptions. Every time you go to sleep, the subconscious mind is absorbing the impressions you give it. This is why it is so important to practice consciously creating your reality before sleep. The subconscious is most receptive in these moments, and by impressing upon it the feeling of already having what you desire, you are giving it the perfect conditions to bring about your wishes. It is also helpful to create a ritual or practice that helps you enter into this state before sleep. This could be a brief meditation, deep breathing exercises, or simply lying in bed and focusing on the desired end. Make it a practice to relax your mind and body and allow yourself to feel the emotions of having what you want. The more relaxed and peaceful you are, the more easily you can connect with the feeling of fulfillment. In this state, you will notice that the external world begins to change. People, situations, and circumstances will shift to reflect the inner state of already having. This is the law of correspondence at work. Your inner world dictates your outer world. As you persist in the assumption of having, you will begin to see the evidence of your desires appearing in your life. Your outer world will begin to conform to the inner images and feelings you have been impressing upon it. Ultimately, the practice of asking before sleep is about aligning yourself with the natural flow of creation. By focusing on the end result, feeling the emotions associated with that fulfillment, and trusting the subconscious mind to bring it to fruition, you are tapping into the creative power within you. As you continue this practice, your desires will begin to manifest with greater ease and speed. It is through this consistent, focused approach that you will create the life you desire. The journey to manifesting desires is a journey of self-mastery. It is a process where you learn to harness the incredible power of your mind to shape the world around you. One of the most profound ways to initiate this process is by realizing that the key to your success lies not in the outer world, but in the inner world. Specifically, the state of your mind, your beliefs, and your feelings. You see, the external world is simply a reflection of the state of your consciousness. What you experience on the outside is the result of what you are assuming, believing, and feeling on the inside. This understanding becomes even more powerful when you recognize that your thoughts and feelings, particularly those before sleep, have the ability to program your subconscious mind, which in turn creates the reality you experience. The moments before sleep are the most fertile and receptive moments for imprinting your subconscious mind. As you drift from the conscious state into the unconscious, the gatekeeper of your mind, the critical faculty, relaxes, allowing suggestions and beliefs to penetrate more deeply. It is in this state that you have the ability to influence your subconscious mind, planting the seeds for the manifestation of your desires. To understand this better, it's essential to grasp the importance of assuming that the thing you desire is already yours. This assumption is the key to aligning yourself with the fulfillment of your dreams. When you ask for something before sleep, you are not just wishing or hoping, you are affirming with full emotional conviction that the desire is already fulfilled. The subconscious mind doesn't distinguish between what is real and what is imagined with feeling. It reacts equally to both. Therefore, when you imagine yourself in the state of already having what you want, your subconscious mind begins to work on bringing that reality into your experience. The more you practice this assumption with feeling, the more effectively your desires will manifest. The first step in this process is learning to focus your mind. Often the mind is filled with 1,000 thoughts, worries, and distractions. It is crucial to quiet the mind and focus on the end result, the fulfillment of your desire. This is not the time to analyze or figure out the how of your desires. The moment you begin to think of the how, you are stepping out of the creative state and into doubt. The subconscious mind is creative, not analytical. It responds to feelings, not to reason. Therefore, you must let go of any need to know the how and instead focus entirely on the feeling of already having your desire. For instance, if you desire a loving relationship, do not focus on the specific person or how that person will enter your life. Instead, focus on the feeling of love, the joy of companionship, and the warmth of being in a harmonious relationship. The more vividly you can feel these emotions, the more powerfully they will impress your subconscious mind. Your subconscious, in turn, will orchestrate the necessary events and circumstances to bring that love into your life. Similarly, if you desire financial abundance, focus on the feeling of financial freedom, the security and peace that come with wealth. Feel the relief of not having to worry about money and the joy of being able to live freely. These feelings, when practiced consistently, will gradually shift your reality to match them. The next essential aspect of this process is faith. To manifest your desires, you must believe that the thing you desire is already yours. Faith is not just an abstract concept. It is the assurance that your assumption will manifest. When you lay down to sleep, if you can feel that your desire is already fulfilled, and if you can feel the corresponding emotions as though it has already come to pass, then your faith is in alignment with your desire. In this state, there is no doubt, no second guessing, and no worry. You are fully aligned with the fulfillment of your wish. It's also important to recognize that your emotions play a significant role in this process. The subconscious mind does not respond to dry thoughts alone. It responds to thoughts that are accompanied by strong emotion. The more intense the emotion, the stronger the impression it leaves on the subconscious. Therefore, it's essential to not just think about your desire, but to feel the emotions that would accompany its fulfillment. Whether it is the thrill of success, the joy of love, or the peace of health, you must feel those emotions as if they are already a part of your experience. This is the key to impressing your subconscious mind. As you prepare for sleep each night, engage in this process with trust. Trust that the universe is responding to the impression you have made. Let go of the need to control how your desire will come about, and simply feel that it is already on its way to you. The more you release your attachment to the specifics of how and when, the more open you will be to the flow of manifestation. The subconscious mind is not bound by the same limitations as the conscious mind. It is unlimited in its power to bring your desires to fruition. The only limit to this power is your ability to believe and feel that it is already done. It is not enough to practice this technique once or twice and then expect immediate results. The process of manifestation requires consistency. Every night, as you go to sleep, reinforce the feeling of already having what you desire. This is a process that requires patience and persistence. As you continue to do this, your subconscious mind will begin to shift your beliefs and assumptions, and the outer world will begin to reflect this new inner state. The more consistently you practice this technique, the more rapidly your desires will manifest. This is where the idea of persistence comes into play. The key to success in manifestation is not in trying to force or rush the process, but in remaining steadfast in your belief and in the feeling that your desire is already fulfilled. Doubts will arise and moments of uncertainty will come, but you must continue to persist. The subconscious mind responds to the dominant prevailing feeling. If your dominant feeling is one of fulfillment, your external circumstances will eventually align with that feeling. Ultimately, the process of manifestation is a practice of trust, belief, and emotional alignment. The more you trust the process, the more you believe in your ability to create, and the more you embody the emotions of already having, the more you will see your desires come to life. The process does not require you to force anything. It requires you to align your inner state with the reality you wish to create. And as you do, the world around you will begin to reflect that new state, bringing your desires into physical form. By practicing this technique before sleep every night, you are planting the seeds of your desired reality in the most fertile soil, the subconscious mind. And just as a seed takes time to grow, your desires too will take root and eventually bloom into your physical experience. The more you persist, the quicker the manifestation will come. For the subconscious mind is a powerful force that always works in your favor when you align with it in the right way. In conclusion, the process of manifestation is a powerful, transformative practice that lies within each of us. By mastering the art of controlling our inner state, particularly the feelings and beliefs we carry within, we have the ability to shape the world around us. The moments before sleep offer a unique opportunity to program the subconscious mind, a time when it is most receptive to new impressions. By focusing on the end result, feeling as though your desires are already fulfilled, you align your internal state with the reality you wish to create. This process is not about wishing or hoping, but about immersing yourself in the feeling of already having what you desire. Through the consistent practice of imagining the fulfillment of your desires and feeling the corresponding emotions, you begin to impress these desires upon the subconscious mind. The subconscious, in turn, works to bring these desires into physical manifestation. Faith, persistence, and trust in the process are essential components of this practice. As you let go of doubt, release attachment to the how, and persist in your assumptions, you will see the evidence of your desires appearing in your life. Remember that manifestation is not a process of forcing the world to bend to your will. It is about aligning with the natural flow of creation, trusting that the universe is always working in your favor, and knowing that your desires are already on their way to you. By continuing this practice with confidence, patience, and consistency, you will witness the powerful transformation of your inner world, which in turn will transform your outer world, bringing your dreams into reality.